Good morning and welcome. Each year, the church sets aside 40 days as a special time we call Lent. In Lent, we try often to think of how Jesus carried a heavy cross and died for us. Jesus lived more than 30 years on earth without suffering special pains and sorrows. But just before he died, he suffered much because he wanted to bring new life to all men and women, and he knew there was no way to do that without pain.
The first station. Jesus is condemned to death. What had Jesus done? He had come with stories of wisdom. He had come with healing and forgiveness. He had come to make people friends with God. But not everyone welcomed the things he did and the things he said. There were whispers and lies. There were anger and spite. Jesus was condemned to death. Dear God, keep me from anger and spite. Help me to love and forgive. Help me to follow Jesus. Station 2. Jesus is made to carry the cross. Jesus was condemned to a cruel death, to be nailed to a cross of wood. Soldiers loaded the cross onto his shoulders, although he had done no wrong. He was ordered to carry his heavy load through the jeering crowd. Dear God, when I feel alone and troubles weigh me down like a heavy load, help me to know that I am walking with Jesus. Station 3. Jesus falls the first time under the cross. Jesus walked along the narrow streets of Jerusalem, struggling with the heavy cross. The pavement was rough beneath his feet. The guard hurried him forward without pity. He lost his footing and fell. Dear God, I try to follow Jesus, but sometimes I fail and fall. May I know in my heart that Jesus is always with me.
Fourth station. Jesus is met by his mother. Jesus' mother Mary was in Jerusalem, following her dear son as he walked to a death he did not deserve. The love of a mother is forever. Dear God, thank you for the great family of those who follow you, for they are family to us, and give us hope and encouragement as we also try to follow you.
This station, Simon of Cyrene helps carry the cross. Jesus struggled once again with the cross. The guard grew impatient with his slowness. They saw a strongly built man coming in from the country, Simon of Cyrene. Here you carry the cross for the poor prisoner. The soldiers commanded, so Simon. Dear God, thank you for those whom we do not know who help us with their greater strength when we are in need. Station 6. Veronica wiped the face of Jesus. Jesus could barely see the way ahead. His eyes were clouded with sweat. He tried to wipe it away, but only smeared it with the dust from his hands. Then a woman stepped forward and gently wiped his face with the cloth. Dear God, we thank you for those who see the little ways in which to give hope and support. The second station. Jesus falls the second time. The guard urged Jesus forward, for his sentence had been to carry without delay. But who can walk calmly to a place where they will be found in his name? Once again, Jesus cried. Dear God, I try to follow Jesus, but sometimes I grow fearful and discouraged. Help me to trust that in your care, and all things will work together for the good. The eighth station, the woman of Jerusalem mourned for Jesus. A group of women wept to see Jesus so cruelly treated. He has done no wrong, they cried. What is happening? Is neither right nor fair. Jesus looked up and sadly. Do not weep for me, he said. Weep for yourselves and for your children who have to go on living in these troubled times. Dear God, when the world is unkind and people are so unfair, we weep with you. You weep for us. The ninth station. Jesus falls the third time. Jesus and the guard approached the hill. That was to be the end of the journey. Trembling, Jesus fell again. Dear God, whenever in this world is more suffering than goodness, help me to believe that your goodness is strong and your love is forever. Station 10. Jesus is stripped from his garments. At the place of execution, the guards took from Jesus even his clothes he was wearing. They gambled among themselves to decide who would have his tunic. Jesus was left with nothing. Dear God, help me not to worry about the things that people can steal, but rather to seek to live in the way you want to live in your kingdom.
The 11th station. Jesus is nailed to the cross. Then the guards laid Jesus on the cross, hammered iron nails through his hands and his feet. They hung him up to die, while others mocked his suffering. Dear God, when I see violent people win, may I continue to believe in peace.
Station. Jesus dies upon the cross. For several hours, Jesus hung upon the cross. He asked God to forgive those who had treated him so cruelly. He asked his friend John to be a son to his mother. He pleaded with God to tell him why he had been left alone to suffer. And then he died. Dear God, in the face of death, may I continue to believe that you give life. Station 13. The body of Jesus is taken down from the cross. A man named Joseph from the town of Arimathea saw Jesus die. He was a wealthy man and had been a secret follower of Jesus. He asked Pilate if he could take the body and give it a proper burial. Dear God, may we continue to do good even when it seems that we have nothing left to hope for. The 14th station. The body of Jesus is laid in the tomb. Joseph had asked that a tomb be prepared for his own death. It's a low cave cut into the rock with a large round stone to roll in place as doors. As evening fell, Joseph and some of Jesus' friends carefully wrapped the body and laid it inside with the door rolled shut. Then they hurried home because the week of their rest, the Sabbath was beginning. Dear God, when we are in despair and we have many hours to sit and be with you. The 15th station. Jesus rises from the tomb. When the day of rest was over, some women who had been followers of Jesus returned to the tomb. They brought with them spices to prepare the body for burial according to their tradition. As they approached, they saw that the stone was rolled aside. The body was no longer inside. Instead, they saw angels. "Why are you looking among the dead for someone who is alive?" asked the angels. "Jesus is not here. He is risen." Dear God, help us to believe in you and in the love that will bring us to everlasting life. The story continues. He's not here. He is risen. The woman could hardly believe the angel's words. They ran to tell the disciples the astonishing news. At first, no one believed what they said, but the tomb was certainly empty. Then Jesus came and met with his friends. They saw him and touched him. So it continued for 40 days. And then Jesus' friends saw him being taken up to heaven. Soon afterward, they began to tell the world the story of Jesus, the story of the cross. There is a part of the story when wicked and cruel people seem to be winning. Then God changes everything, bringing life and love that will never end.
1, 2, 3.
Thank